I think there wouldn't be any distance. Whether we is a government today, he will not follow what the other person did. Any project he did, the same thing. And that is what actually causes all this.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, what's your name, sir?
And good morning to my leaders in the studio. My name is Stephen Sami.
Welcome, Stephen.
My contribution is this. The fact is that the politicians these days, most especially the present administration, the local leaders are there for themselves. They don't respect the rule of law, and their personal interest has dominated the interest of the masses. When you listen to the headline this morning, where somebody was calling opacity is great, all this and that, whatever they are saying to the fact, it's not about the interest of the masses. The reason why all these fights between them continue, and it will continue, is because the masses, what the masses are going through is none of their business. All the politicians, all the political appointees, all those who are in political positions, they are there for themselves and their family, and that is the problem we are facing in this country. We don't help us anything.
Thank you, Stephen, for your call. On the Facebook, 925 Dream FM, join the conversation there. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, this is Mama Bika calling from Enugu.
Go ahead, please.
Well, what I have to say is this. English should help us support Biafra to come.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Well, that's not what we're talking about today. We're focusing on unending fights among political appointees in Nigeria, issues and concerns and governance. On the Facebook live stream, we have Onu Emmanuel Nemeka, who says, pensions shouldn't be politicized. I don't know where you got that from, but that's another topic we'll focus on after today. Well, looking at something else. Anat Moko says the unending fights are the result of entrenched personal, tribal and parochial interests. If common interests are the reasons, the country could have been better off. Nosobuka says, as long as politics is played in the light of amassing wealth in Nigeria, infighting among political office holders will becomes inevitable, he says. It will keep getting worse if corrective steps and actions are not taken to restore sanity in the system. Chineke Kazetan says, good morning. From Oji River, okay? On this issue, I think it is high time Nigeria returned to her former glory. Part of the factors contributing to this fight among political office holders in Nigeria is the so-called godfatherism and total negligence of our constitution. It is believed that our political leaders are always selected through godfatherism for their political acumen, and denial of total independence comes in, which in return makes them not to carry out their duties, but rather work on their ability to repay and enrich their godfathers. In this case, there should be strict adherence to the rule of law in order to end the fight. Samson Bright-Oko says, good morning. There is a saying that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Nigerian politicians 100. Okay, I don't know how you got that percentage about the corrupt politicians in Nigeria. I said, any politician who does not fear God, how will the person positively take care of the masses? I think they need personal relationship with God first. That's his contribution. 0809888925. Good morning. Hello, good morning. On the WhatsApp line, you can join 0902002095. Well, good morning to you. Yes, we can hear you. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Linus. I am calling you from Enugu.
Linus, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. So, our constitution is greed and impurity. Constitution is not going to each person to respect the position. The position is made by every person. And that is why you see high level of utilities which are public appointees. If you watch carefully, we don't have to say people go because most of the people today is due to have died. All that they say another application. Under the time, we will know the number of cities person that are making sure there is good government in this country. And all of a sudden, I know there is when the less offensive are in civil society, you will know the country is being made to account for whatever they do. So today, the civil society is not just including everywhere. The actual persons are the persons that protect everything in the office. Even the elected ones, you are not embarking on their oversight function.
All right.
So, people just are very
Thank you very much for your contribution. Comrade Fidelis said here in the studio, Ezudono.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Welcome.
Please permit me to debate a little. It needs a chance for the better side.
Make sure you're staying on the topic of discussion, Charles, as much as you want to deviate.
So please, I'm just called to please let my boss to make a passionate appeal to the Dream FM to please to help us, the staff of the Igbo South. We are dying of hunger. The local government chairman has refused to pay us June salary, and we know what this date is. The workers are dying of hunger. Please, you people should help us and let the local government chairman to please pay us June salary. We are dying of hunger, please.
Thank you very much, Charles, for bringing that here. Well, to that in our subsequent programs. Well, gentlemen in the studio, Comrade Fidelis said Ezudono Boka is here, Executive Director of Service Accord Initiative, former Labour leader. Also here is Augustine Odenibo, retired State Director, Ministry of Education, Enugu State, and a Public Affairs Analyst. We have been looking at unending fights among political appointees in Nigeria, issues and concerns. Now, majority of the stories we hear come from the federal level, and one wonders, what about the states? What is happening at the state level? Is it that there is peace, or they've gotten to that point of...
You just preempted me. You just preempted the angle I wanted to come. The argument is that two strand here I wanted to pull, but you've just taken the first one. When we talk about the federal government, we are talking about just one arm of government. We have the states, you have the local government, which is 774. And you just asked, is it that the governance model is so efficient and accountable at that level that we are all completely now, the issue is about Mago, Malami. Look at the other side I wanted to generate. And that will tell you how we do respect, how misoriented we are in public affairs. We will usually want to talk about the volume of money maybe Mago recovered or Malami want to divert, but we are not worrying ourselves that these are our commonwealth that has been appropriated from the local government to states to the national level, where now the gatekeepers are recovering them. Nigerians will focus more now on whether Mago acted well or not, but nobody is asking, but how come from 1999 when Obasanjo set up EFCC, ICPC, how come the corruption has increased? Who are these corrupt people? These monies, where is it stolen from Cameroonians or Ghanaians? We are talking about the federal allocation. We are saying not enough. If you follow the NDDC issue, anybody that is Niger Delta now will begin to say how much is actually being taken by those that they say are having the oil well, and how much actually those that were appointed. And mind you, in this appointment, it is so restricted that there is nobody who is not from the state that is a member of the board that can come in. So I think that the narrative and the discussion will now begin to, it is true. You shut out somebody that wanted to talk about Biafra, but as in these days I begin to engage people on the streets. I tell them that what I want to act, you start acting now. I've had incidences of somebody who was supposed to work on my car. He talks about a republic he wants to go into. 2 weeks later, he vamoosed with the money, and I couldn't trace him. Then I'm asking, is it the same mentality you will use now to enter into the country you are aspiring? You could do things differently. So the point I'm saying here is that that's why I told you that nothing has changed. The only thing that brought this thing to our public glare is social media. And we are all now social media tigers. You know, people don't talk about their local government, people don't even talk about their community, people don't even bother themselves. The focus is EFCC, and nobody has asked these recoveries, who are the names from which these monies were recovered? And how are they retired? And people will just tell you. Now, there was a point somebody made, and I think that should be positive more to Abakaere. Because if under him, he was helping the president manage as chief of staff, and now, according to him, I'm just following that narrative, you now have this. It means that it's just like when you have a store and you have a wonderful person that takes care of your goods. Then all of a sudden, the person is not there and you started missing. Do you now blame the master? So the question you ask is that we are not even engaging at the state level. So it's not as if the state level is more transparent, whether it is fear or whether people decide not to do those ways, because I can tell you, Ezinne, that if we have governance, 50% governance at local government, at state, at the federal level will be minor.
All right.
That is my own proposition.
Dr. Denide.
No, you see, I still believe that the problem we are facing in states and local governments is, I can say, it's got some. I made mention of something here in this studio some time ago, that a particular chairman did not extend the palliative to our own community. And I was a kind of, my colleague, shouted and started saying something.
And the chairman was here also.
And the chairman was also here. And eventually I discovered that what I said was true. Because when I went to my community, I asked questions. I've been the president of my town union for 14 years, PG, and I still have that respect. If I go in now and call for a meeting, they would all answer. And my community is one of the largest communities in the local government. So what I'm trying to say, why some politicians, that is why some of them want to align themselves with the people in power, so that if you get seen there, like my humble self, I think when I managed, I can say when I managed the World Bank, I didn't actually, with my movement, as a place which I extend our what I can say rehabilitate secondary schools and other things. When the one asked me, I told him why I didn't do that, and he agreed with me. I went into the place I know they really needed that World Bank project. They needed the classroom projects, and they benefited. They gave the Shimarok a title in I think I mentioned it here sometime. So what I'm trying to say is that it is not only on federal government level that we have this particular crisis of donor. And you see what has happened to him after he left the office. He was facing a very serious thing, and it might come from the person he favored. So what I'm trying to say in this instance is one of the major things that make, cause this particular crisis is when you have godfather. If you are my godfather, you place me in a place, and I know whatever I do, nobody will query it, the community will not query it, no person will query it. I do whatever I like. And when I do that, what I like, eventually, I will be defending, stepping on toes of the people I'm supposed to take care of.
All right.
So you find out actually that when somebody wants to get in and then contest for that local government election through some other angles, there will be a fight, a very serious fight. And the same thing applies to the governorship, and the same thing applies to governors or the president. So, in that things. And they don't know they are representing people that put them in that position, presumably, because we know that in Nigeria, there's nothing like election in actual fact.
All right.
Two, we have no respect for all the arms of, for instance, there is a kind of law that established INEC, and INEC don't actually apply any principle. They don't apply anything, even a line from that particular laws.
Well, let's hear the voices of the people. It's Political Voices on 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM. Unending fights among political appointees in Nigeria, issues and concerns and governance. On the Facebook live stream, Don Topes Okonkwo, thank you for joining us from Olu. He says, I so much love the drama. I am enjoying the movie, especially the one going on in my state, Imo. Onyeka Wana Yeza says, the unending fights among politicians in Nigeria is due to personal and selfish interests among On the WhatsApp line 0902 Mikoya from Adani. Thank you for joining the Woo Radio Comment shortly. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
Welcome. What's your name, please? Go ahead. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from
Let's hear you, please. All right. Mikoya, thank you for joining us on the WhatsApp line. It says, the problem of this country is personal interest. They don't care about others. It's very, very bad. That's according to Mikoya. 0809 8888 0902 Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Thank you for joining us.
I wish you sorry, my name is Peter now.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Benin State.
Go ahead, please.
And I wish my aunt and Edo and Dr. Well, what I've seen is that nobody cares for anybody's career. Nobody's and I republic. But the salaries are not paid. The services show that the federal, state, the local government are not paid. You know, like the federal debt owed by Nigeria is of 45 now. They also owe 99 debt. So many of us are victims of this fighting and the pressure to government. Because nobody cares if this man has rendered service to the state for or not. Nobody wants to know who is contributing to the economy. Everybody is taking from here and here and here. So we don't have any bearing in the country.
Thank you very much for your contribution. On the WhatsApp line, Barrister Chinoye, thank you for joining us. He says, to whom much is given, much is expected, all right? And he says, I want to lend credence to what Comrade Fidelis said. It leaves much to be desired, but all the same, we look forward to a brighter, a greater Nigeria in the future and to uphold the tenets and ideals of our founding fathers. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for joining us. 0809 8888 Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Welcome. What's your name?
Please, this is Chibo from Morodi.
Go ahead, Chibo.
Please, I want to know why there is this disparity between federal workers and both states and even state local government. For instance,
well,
the issue of minimum wage now in Enugu.
Well, you know, that is a division, right?
Local government workers have not been paid that.
Thank you for confirming that earlier report from Charles. Well, we should be rounding off any moment from now. Olisa Zemeka Christopher on the Facebook live stream says the unending fight among public holders in Nigeria, office public holders in Nigeria, is a result of greed and they are not being able to distinguish from their roles in governance. All right. Well, gentlemen, as we round off, Comrade Fidelis, well, we are also looking at how these unending fights impact on the polity. How does it impact on governance? And what should the people begin to do differently? I recall that one of the contributors, Linus, who called, talked about the need for the civil societies to rise up to the occasion.
Well, it depends on the stream from which the civil society is drawing. I just made the point that we all seem to be concentrated in the urban cities and remain in the social media. But let me come this way. The constitution we are operating now under the federal structure, you know, when people talk about restructure, we seem not to even want to capture the little ones we can even make. From what is happening now, it is very, very obvious that those who before now have made a case for the office of the Attorney General of the federal government to be separated from Attorney General of the Federation, which now answers to the states and the federal government should be separated. You can now see the mix is that once an office that also is in the constitution for the federation begins to have issues as a result of their service to an arm of government, which is the federal government, it affects its role as an organ created for the federation in the constitution. That is one. Then secondly, when it on the struggle against fight against corruption, I think it is time we move from the agency created by Obasanjo to an institution that will be independent of the police, the office of the AG, so that I can't even understand how you have an agency that is fighting corruption, they recover money, they are not accountable to another agency, nobody oversights them aside from the National Assembly. So I think the organs we have now cannot deliver the kind of accountability we are expecting.
Dr. Denibo.
Now, in my own view, I don't think if we establish a separate entity to fight corruption, that they will do the thing that are not required, because if you establish an entity to fight corruption independent of the AGF, independent of presidency, independent, you find out there will be more corruption in that organization, because they will do things, with impunity, hoping that they cannot be tried by any other organization. One other thing is this: if in Nigerian polity, if we can, reduce the financial inducement, that is the amount of money being paid to senators, ministers, the political, kind of defrost the financial gains in political arena, I think it will lessen the crisis.
All right.
Because automatically it is that money, it is the money that brings in the crisis.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on Political Voices today. Dr. Gosado Denibo is a retired State Director of Ministry of Education, Enugu State, and a Public Affairs Analyst. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you,
Thank you, listeners. Fidelis Edezu Donilboka, Executive Director, Service of Code Initiative, Farmer and Former Labor Leader. It's been a pleasure having you as well.
Thank you, my honor.
Thank you to my producer, Okeo Dogu, and to my production assistant, Lotando Kereke, also to Alex Obodo, who made sure that we streamed live on Facebook, 925 Dream FM. You can as well join us. Click on the notification button on YouTube, Dream TV Enugu, and enjoy various videos that we post there for you. Stay for the news at 10 on 92.5 Enugu's Dream FM. My name is Izzy Naningwe, and join us tomorrow on Political Voices, 9 a.m.